Let's say all four of these teams face off against each other today.
Same game?
Yeah. Who's winning? Yeah, wouldn't that be something?
Arsenal.
Yeah, you have to go Arsenal.
Right.
They didn't lose.
It is time to open our Tuesday mailbag. And yesterday we asked the question, what is the best Premier League team of all time? We got some good answers. So we're going to dive into some of these responses that you guys gave us. Thank you very much for participating. All right, so first up, I believe, Alexis, the Invincibles.
Yeah.
I mean, hard to argue.
This goes without a doubt, to me, the greatest team that's ever been assembled in the Premier League. And if you ask, you don't have to ask me, you can ask.
What did they achieve?
Yeah. Sir Alex Ferguson even said the same thing. He said, yes, he's won a lot of trophies, but going an entire season without losing a match stands above all. And you're looking at the lineup here. I mean, absolute legends. Henry, right, co-worker of ours. Dennis Bergkamp, right? You saw what he did to Newcastle in that one play. Hopefully Arsenal does that to them today. Pires, Gilberto Silva, who, one of my favorite people. I've gotten a chance to meet him. He actually did Cooligans, and I saw him one day, and I go, hey, it's me. He goes, yeah, I know, Cooligans. Where's the skinny one? Hilarious. Patrick Vieira, who we've talked about. Freddie Ljungberg, who not only played well during the season, but also is the coach that brought up Bukayo Saka to the first team. Obviously, Cole, Campbell, Torre, Laurent, Lehman. I mean, absolute superstars. This team assembled changed the way the Premier League looks and plays and where they go out and get players. It changed the makeup of an entire league. And what I think really made it the league that it is today, the greatest league in the world.
They had aura. They have an aura.
Aura times a billion.
So
A great
strong
point.
that up until today, they're not only invincible, it feels like in this conversation that we're going to have in this segment, they're untouchable. They just have, that, the fact that they went unbeaten, it puts them in a different echelon, in my opinion. Like, we each are going to present a couple more teams.
Yeah.
But it's hard to beat okay, great, yeah. This is a lot of woulda, coulda, shoulda. Like, you never know. It's a lot of speculation when you pair these teams against each other. But then, like, the ultimate ace under your sleeve is, but they went invincible.
Yeah. And can I add a little extra caveat on top?
Sure.
Arsene Wenger, the season prior, said, I think we can go undefeated next season. I think we can be invincible. He's the one who suggested it. And to actually net that out the next season,
He said the word invincible?
I don't know if he said invincible. He might have said undefeated. But then invincible might be...
Then that's crap.
That might be a newspaper. Again,
it was actually on the Cooligans podcast in his bedroom way back when he was thinking about it.
I said it. That was episode 1 of the Cooligans. For me, I think that adds even more, because this wasn't it just happened.
Yeah.
This was I demand this from this team, and they went out and did it.
Yeah.
They won again afterwards, or was it the season before? Right, the season before they won it. Yeah. It's two Premier League titles.
Yeah.
Pretty big. Like, Liverpool hasn't won 2 Premier League titles, you know? Like, and these Liverpool teams under Klopp, they were extraordinary.
Yeah, we just happened to be playing the same time these ridiculous City teams were.
Like, I'd put those, I'd entertain the conversation of Liverpool, one of those Liverpool teams being here, but they don't have the titles yet to show for it.
Yet. All right, Lahoud, we're moving on to the next one, and this is the 2008 Manchester United team.
And I was so tempted to put and change it to 2009, but a club like FC Barcelona ruined my dreams of putting it on this show and many United fans' dreams. With this 08 squad...
Was this the last year you were happy as a football fan?
Yeah, just about. Actually, last May when we beat City.
Okay, there you go.
No, this 08 squad had everything. This was really the birth of Cristiano Ronaldo as being that elite goal scorer in world football. The season before their Champions League run, I mean, he changed his game, and Sir Alex Ferguson was so instrumental, but this was a shift from Wayne Rooney being the focal point of the team to Ronaldo being the focal point of the team. And Ronaldo started this final against Chelsea, and it was almost like this arms race between Jose Mourinho started Chelsea at the season. Avram Grant came in, but the experience, the balance of youth, and the dynamism of that front three at different times. Ronaldo, 39 goals that won the European Golden Shoe, the Golden Boot, for the top goal scorer in Europe that season was amazing. Gets the goal in the Champions League final. As I said, Edwin van der Sar, a loyal servant to the club, gets the big moment in terms of saying the penalty. Carlito Tevez, I wish he would have stayed at Old Trafford. They did get Dimitar Berbatov the following season, but I wish that there could have been more longevity. I think it would have meant more Champions League trophies in the cabinet. This team just had everything to it, and they knew how to win. I think that was the thing when I look at this group overall. They just had way too many winners on it for two other teams.
Tevez stayed.
Diggs and Ji-sung Park.
Yeah.
Like,
Tevez
squatting.
stayed one more year after this, right? Tevez stayed till 2009.
I think you're right.
I think that's right around the time there were rumors of him going to Arsenal. I was so excited for someone like him.
I think you're right.
Always come back to Arsenal, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Kinda, it's my Boca, if you will.
The biggest compliment I can give that team is that I hated them as a Liverpool fan.
That's the best compliment of all.
They were so good, and it was infuriating.
Yeah.
Absolutely infuriating.
50 years they won the Champions League after the Munich air disaster as well, so they were highly inspired.
Motivated, for sure. All right, let's move it along to our next team. What did you get for us, guys? I think I'm going to like this one.
Ding, 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 ding.
Oh, 2019 Liverpool. So this is the team that basically were perfect pretty much the whole season and should have probably won the Premier League title, but they didn't because Manchester City were just that little tiny bit better. But the season that this team put together was unbelievable. Sadio Mane, peak Bobby Firmino.
Jeez.
Oh my God.
This is peak Bobby Firmino era,
Peak
too.
Bobby Firmino.
Gigi Wijnaldum, too, who was epic for you
good.
guys.
He had one of his best
Firmino and
seasons for
Wijnaldum.
Liverpool over that 2-year period when they won this trophy and the Premier League title.
And then
Wijnaldum.
Oh, Wijnaldum, yeah.
Unplayable.
So this is they clearly didn't win the trophy in 2019. The year that they did win the title, though, I think you could make a case for that being special as well, because they went on that crazy 26-match unbeaten run, and they basically clinched the Premier League title that season, very, very early. It was it was okay, we know.
Also, if it wasn't for that, City would have won, 7 in a row?
Yeah,
6 in a row?
exactly.
Something like that?
So those 2 seasons, but the team that won the Champions League in 2019, and that season was just special. It was just, I can't tell you how frustrating it was, though, watching them be so good and thinking this is the best Liverpool team I've ever seen, and it still wasn't good enough.
If they didn't win the Prem, I don't think they can be the best Premier League team of all time. And it's such
Even
a
though they
shame
win
that they
Champions
had to
League?
go. No, you can't be the best Champions League team. But
Can I
not
tell
win
you?
the
Can I
Prem and
give
then
some
if
credit
you-
for that though? That stopped Tottenham from winning a Champions League,
It
and that
did.
means the world to me.
That's your second team.
Yeah, this is my second favorite team of all
That team that
time.
we put up was the Champions League final starting lineup, right?
I think so.
It looked like it. If I'm not mistaken, there's a fact out there that is brought up when you see that 11. That team hadn't played together. Those 11 players hadn't played
That's
together
right.
until that Champions League final, which is unbelievable.
That's
which just
crazy.
comes to show you the depth that team, because there was Ox. You had Ox as a utility player coming in. Naby Keita coming in as well on that team into that midfield.
Yeah.
We can keep. Sturridge, Origi.
Without Origi, there's no football.
Yeah, they were Lovren,
Premier League title
Matic,
either.
Trent, these names, it's just Milner. Man, that was a really good deep team, and the players that would come in, the quality wouldn't drop. It
I
would be
know.
the same concept, and it didn't
was
matter
also-
which mishmash of
That was
players
that
you had.
gegenpressing peak era where it was still so exciting, that heavy metal football.
Yeah,
You're
I'm glad you
watching
gave that a
it.
shot.
I remember watching it as an Arsenal fan. Arsenal loves to pass and keep possession. And then I'm watching this and I'm like, damn, man, they are just going for it. It was exciting.
Yeah.
In my 20s, I will remember Manchester City. From my 20s, I will remember Manchester City versus Liverpool matchups. Those were the games.
Epic. Oh, all right. Nico, you're up.
Who'd you get, bruh?
Manchester City, the one that won the treble.
The treble.
Not United.
Yeah.
No, Manchester City, and this is the team. You
This is
do have
remarkable.
to consider. I think right now we have a lot of recency bias because there's a lot of these same players that are on the team right now. But man, this is the starting lineup from the Champions League final.
Yeah.
That almost
I was there.
slipped through their fingers.
Oh, yeah,
against
you were.
I was
remember
there.
that, yeah.
And let me tell you something, as someone who doesn't love watching Manchester City win, watching them play, not in the first half, the second half, I'm like, man, there's something ridiculously special about watching this team play.
Yeah.
I mean, this is when Stones popped into the midfield as a center back.
Rodri, I think, scores the winner, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Rodri was essential in this season and started his growth towards being a Ballon d'Or winner. And you could see it in him. Grealish this season, not only offensively, but defensively as well. In that left wing position, he would track back. That was the best Jack Grealish that we've seen. I mean, and Foden had a drop off because the season before Foden was unplayable, but he was an essential player. Julian Alvarez was really good as well. And he only grew the next season. They didn't go invincible. They won the Premier League. They won the Champions League. They were like, they had all the bases covered.
Yeah. So let's say all 4 of these teams face off against each other today.
Same game?
Yeah. Who's winning? Yeah. Wouldn't that be something?
Arsenal.
Yeah, you have to go Arsenal.
Right.
They didn't lose.
I like my team.
I
I like my team, man. There was something adaptable about that 08 Champions League squad, but I mean, the Invincibles.
How do you rank the managers?
We're good.
Because there's some top-notch managers.
I think if Wenger was in this era, I think we'd be talking about him just as highly as we do everyone else. But because of what Pep's been able to do, post the Wenger era and post, Mourinho's Chelsea and some of these great teams, you got to give it to Pep.